beloved, I have watched you standing before walls that refuse to budge. I have seen you knock, tug, and plead for entry, while seasons shifted around you. You wondered whether I heard the secret sighs of your heart. Hear me now. I did not ignore. I was orchestrating. Heaven's calendar is striking the hour of access. The hinges of long-sealed gateways are loosening, because my decree outranks every luck. Stay here. Listen until the very end, so you do not mistake the sound of opportunity for ordinary noise, my precious one. Whenever you call on my name in faith, I am always listening. Speak with confidence. I need your help, and trust that the heavens will answer. Your unwavering faith has the power to move mountains, and my blessings are already on their way. Listen closely. Do you hear it somewhere in your spirit? A creak resounds, a latch clicks free. It rushes in where it never flowed before. These are not random openings. They are precision time portals into purposes I planted in you before your first breath. Some are doors of provision where debts dissolve and resources overflow. Others are doors of influence, where your voice once overlooked will shape atmospheres. There are doors of healing, where pain exits and restoration enters with gentle power. Each opening is assigned to you by name. Maintain your focus. Every second of this message unfolds another layer of my plan. You ask, Father, why did the doors stay shut so long? Beloved, delay is not denial. Delay is design. While the hinges were silent, I was refining you, stretching patience, deepening compassion, sharpening discernment, so that when the doors flew open, you would not merely enter, you would occupy and transform. The waiting room was my workshop. Now, the moment has ripened. The fruit of endurance is ready to be tasted. Keep watching. Keep listening. These truths will settle courage into the marrow of your bones. My dear one, if my message has stirred your spirit, embrace it fully with love. Tap that like button and declare your trust in me. Let this truth settle deep in your spirit. No person, no failure, no mistake, and no delay can close what I have opened. What I begin, I finish. What I unlock remains open by my authority. Some people may doubt you, some may even try to stop you, but they do not control your destiny. I do, and my plan for you is filled with goodness and purpose. When you walk in faith, you walk in victory. Even if the hallway was long, even if you stumbled along the way, the door is still opening and it still has your name on it. With new doors come new levels, and with new levels come new responsibilities. But don't worry, I will equip you. Just stay close to me. Keep your heart open, your spirit humble, and your ears tuned to my voice. Let gratitude be your guide and love be your light. Don't forget where you came from, but more importantly, don't forget who brought you through. It wasn't luck. It was great. It was me lifting you when you had no strength left, carrying you when your feet gave out, and whispering hope when the world only shouted fear. When new doors swing wide, the echo can awaken hidden fears. What if I fail? What if the room beyond is too big for me? Do not entertain those voices. I, the Lord, go before you and stand behind you. The door that I open remains open, because no power, spiritual or earthly, possesses the authority to shut what my hand has unlatched. Feel my presence pressing against your back, urging you forward. Hear me repeating in fresh tones, step through. I have equipped you for everything on the other side. You will not walk alone. I have dispatched angels to escort you. Flames of fire that ward off sabotage and accusation. You may not see them, but you will detect their effect. Cancelled traps, silenced rumors, impossible schedules suddenly aligning. When favor surrounds you like a shield, remember, it is evidence that heaven's escorts are on duty. Keep focused. Greater detail is yet to come before this message ends. The door opening for you is also a doorway for others. Your obedience will widen passages for family members, friends, even strangers whose destinies intertwine with yours. Picture a corridor where light spills farther every time you take another faithful step. I desire communities change generations, healed neighborhoods, revive it all, beginning with the simple act of you walking through. Remain engaged with each word. Revelation is cascading like a river and will not stop until this proclamation is finished. Every transition demands a letting go. There are mindsets, scarcity, unworthiness, fear of rejection that cannot travel into new rooms. There are relationships that drain rather than build, habits that numb your spirit, memories that replay, pain instead of promise. Lay them down at the threshold. Do not drag yesterday's chains into tomorrow's liberty. I am doing a new thing. Let the old crumble like husks around fresh grain. Keep listening. Transformation is unfolding, sentence by sentence. Understand that opposition often intensifies at the brink of breakthrough. If discouragement howls louder right now, that is because hell detects doors rattling open. Do not shrink back. Fix your gaze on me. Use worship as your battering ram. Speak. My promise is allowed until atmosphere shifts. The door you are hearing is not a mirage, is the tangible response to your persistent faith. Watch to the very end and drink the fullness of courage I am pouring. My precious child, I am with you enfolding you in my infinite love and grace. Your struggles are not hidden from me, and your prayers are forever heard. I am moving in your life, guiding you. If my words stir your heart, it is my invitation to walk in my blessings as your trust is declared. Through this act, my child, pause and breathe in this holy moment, and door cracks wider even now. Step forward with reverence and with bold joy. Let gratitude be the echo of your every footprint. Let faith be the banner that waves over each new territory. Let love be the fragrance you leave in every room you enter. I am with you in every hallway, on every staircase, across every threshold. Do not click away. Linger in my presence until the closing heartbeat of this video. Allow the final note to seal this word deep in your spirit, then rise. Place your hand on the handle of opportunity and push. The hallway ahead is lit with promise, and the sound you hear is the voice of heaven cheering. Walk on, my child. Your doors are open. If this message reached your heart today, don't keep it to yourself. Someone close to you may be waiting at a door of their own, feeling unsure, tired, or forgotten. Share this with them. Remind them that God hasn't forgotten their prayers. By sharing, you're not just spreading a message. You're opening a door of hope in someone else's life, and that, my child, is one of the most beautiful things you can do. My beloved child, let my love radiate from you like light in the darkness. Share this word with those who need it, and together we will bring peace, healing, and the hope of my everlasting grace. My precious child, if you found yourself here with your heart pounding like a drum in your chest and your thoughts tangled in a whirlwind of worry, take a deep breath and linger with me. This moment is no mere coincidence, is a sacred intersection, a divine appointment your soul has been quietly aching for. I see the weight you carry, the way your mind races with questions that feel too heavy to voice. Is there a hope that endures beyond the chaos? Is there a refuge where I can finally exhale untouched by the tempest swirling around me? My voice reaches out now, speaking directly to the tender, hidden places in your heart that long for peace, for rest, for a love that holds you steady when everything else falters. I know the path you're walking is not an easy one. The world around you is relentless. Headlines scream of uncertainty, economies tremble, relationships fray like worn threads, and unseen battles chip away at your sense of self. You're carrying burdens that feel too heavy for your shoulders. Perhaps a financial strain that leaves you staring at bills in the quiet of night, or a family fracture that steals your sleep. Maybe it's a silent despair, a fear you've kept locked away, whispering that you're too broken, too weary, too far gone to hope again. Beloved child, you are a bearer of my love. Share this message with three in pain, and let my peace wash over them. My beloved, let this be the moment you feel my presence drawing near. I am here not as a distant observer, but as a loving father, a steadfast friend ready to cradle you in arms that never tire. You have never been alone. Even when my presence seemed like a faint echo in the noise of your struggles, I am reaching into the chaos of your life with a promise no storm can shatter. A divine peace that wraps around your fears like a warm blanket. A hope that anchors you when the waves rise. Your pain is real, and I do not dismiss it. Every tear you've shed, every sleepless night, every whispered plea for help, I have seen them all, and my heart aches with compassion for you. Look back for a moment and see the subtle traces of my care woven through your story. That unexpected kindness from a stranger, the sudden clarity in a moment of confusion, the friend who showed up just when you needed them most. These were not accidents. They were whispers of my love, symbols pointing you toward me. Yet I know your heart still wrestles with questions. Why do I feel so afraid? Why does the ground beneath me feel so unsteady? The tension you feel, the pull between fear and hope, is a sacred signal, a longing for something unshakable, for someone who will never let you go. That someone is me. You were not created to navigate life's darkest valleys alone. You were designed for communion with me, to find in my presence a safety that no threat can breach. When loneliness wraps around you like a heavy fog, know that my arms are wide, open, inviting you into a sanctuary of comfort beyond your imagining. You sought assurance in fleeting things, the approval of others, the rush of distractions, the fragile scaffolding of your own accomplishments, but their promises fade like morning mist. I offer you something eternal, myself. When your world feels like it's crumbling, I am the bedrock beneath your feet. When doubt creeps in, whispering lies of unworthiness, I am the truth that silences every accusation. My dear child, if my teachings have stirred your soul, welcome them with love. Press that like button and demonstrate your trust in me. If you're wondering whether your past mistakes have pushed you beyond my reach, let me speak clearly. My love does not tell your failures. I am not a scorekeeper waiting for you to earn my favor. In your brokenness, in your regrets, in the moments you feel least deserving, I am already there, offering renewal and restoration. No wound is too deep, no story too shattered, no heart too heavy for my healing touch. Look at the tapestry of history. See how I have lifted the overlooked, the outgrew the ordinary, and woven there lives into stories of redemption. I long to do the same for you, to take the fragments of your life and create a masterpiece of grace. Picture your heart as a weathered ship tossed on a stormy sea. The waves crash, the winds howl, and you're searching desperately for a beacon to guide you home. My voice cuts through the tumult, clear and unwavering, calling you to a harbor of peace. When you turn toward my light, the storms lose their power to define you. The gales may still rage, but I am your anchor, your shelter, your unshakable refuge. Let me quiet the anxieties that claw your mind in the stillness of night. Let me envelop you in a love so vast, so fierce, that even your deepest fears must bow before it in the practical, gritty moments of life. When the bank account is empty and the bills pile high, when a loved one's choices break your heart, when a diagnosis shakes your sense of security, reach for me. A simple prayer, even a whispered, "Help me," is enough. My response may not always match your expectations, but it will always meet your needs. Trust that I am weaving a story far greater than you can see. A plan where every thread, every trial, every triumph serves your ultimate good. Stay with me a little longer, my child. Don't rush to the world's quick fixes or hollow comforts. Let my words sink deep like rain, soaking into parched soil, nourishing the roots of your spirit. I am stirring your heart, preparing it for a harvest of faith, hope, and peace that will sustain you through every season. When the noise of the world grows deafening, let my voice be the melody that steadies your soul. This moment can be a turning point, a sacred pivot, where you choose to trust my love more than your fears, to lean into my promises more than your doubts. Child of mine, I have set you apart for a holy calling. Do not hesitate, rejoice in the gift of my presence. Click join now and be strengthened in my love and truth. I am holding you close, speaking words of guidance. Walk beside me, my beloved. You are cherished beyond measure. I have drawn you here to remind you that your life matters, that your purpose is unfolding, and that your cries are never ignored. I speak these words to breathe courage into your weary heart. You are held by the one who spun galaxies into being, who knows every star by name and every corner of your soul by heart. Let your spirit find rest in my unbreakable vow to guide you, protect you, and walk with you through every shadow and every sunrise. Now is the time to embrace the truth that you are never alone and you never will be. I am with you, always ready to transform every whisper of doubt into a bold anthem of faith. Take heart, my child. Step forward. with the assurance that you are seen. You are known and you are loved with a love that will never let you go. Let this be the moment you say yes to my invitation, the moment you allow my peace to become your home. My cherished child, I invite you to close your eyes and transport yourself to a distant time, standing on cracked sunset earth beneath a relentless sky. In that ancient world, towering fortress walls rose like sentinels against the horizon, their weathered stones etched with the stories of survival. These fortified cities, impregnable strongholds with iron-bound gates, were more than mere architecture. They were lifelines offering sanctuary from marauding invaders, burstless storms, and the untamed wilderness. When danger loomed, families would flee across rugged plains, their hearts pounding with hope. Seeking the shelter of those mighty walls, to cross the threshold of a city gate was to step from chaos into safety, from despair into the promise of another day. This vivid imagery pulses through the sacred scriptures, where I am called your fortress, your strong tower, your refuge. These are not hollow metaphors or poetic flourishes. They are living truth, as real today as they were millennia ago. Picture yourself in a moment of vulnerability, when life's burdens press heavily upon you, when fears encircle like wolves in the twilight, or weariness threatens to unravel your spirit. In that moment, I am your unyielding fortress, my gates flung wide to welcome you, just as we travelers once stumbled into the cool shadow of a city's walls, finding respite from the blistering desert sun. You can run to me and find rest. Envision those ancient strongholds, their foundations sunk deep into the earth, standing resolute against howling winds and enemy sieges. In the same way, I am your unchanging sanctuary and immovable shelter amidst the tempests of life. No matter how fiercely the trials rage, be it heartbreak, uncertainty, or loss, you can step into the safety of my embrace, where the heat of your struggles cannot touch you. In those ancient days, entire clans would journey for weeks, their sandals worn thin, leading children by the hand and hurting lives stuck across perilous terrain. They carried their treasures, hand-woven blankets, heirloom vessels, the dreams of their lineage, clinging to the hope that the fortress would hold fast against any foe. So too, I call you to bring everything you hold dear into my care. Entrust to me your worries, your ambitions, your loved ones, and the fragile hopes you scarcely dare to name. Within my walls you will find more than mere safety. You will discover my tender presence, a balm that calms your anxieties and restores your soul. My fortress is not a cold, impersonal structure. It is a haven alive with my love, where your heart can breathe freely. This imagery is not locked away in the pages of history, gathering dust alongside forgotten tales. It is a vibrant reality crafted for your life in this very moment. When the sacred writers spoke of me as a refuge, they were not spinning abstract theology. They were unveiling the heartbeat of my eternal character. Sweet child, I have called you by name, and my love for you is beyond measure. My word will comfort and empower you. Approach me and I will share with you the hidden truths of my kingdom. Follow me and I will be your guide. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. A stronghold I offer transcends physical stones. It is a spiritual sanctuary where your soul can find peace amid the clamor of the world. You may not wander literal deserts, but your spirit can feel just as parched, your path just as treacherous. When you hear me described as your refuge, picture a strength that anchors you when the ground beneath you quakes, a shelter that holds firm when everything else falters. In the ancient world, refuge was synonymous with survival, a bulwark against annihilation. In your modern age, refuge in me means something even greater, a flourishing, abundant life that triumphs over fear and despair. Amid the dizzying pace of technology, the uncertainty of shifting cultures, and the weight of personal battles, my promise of refuge remains your solid foundation. When you feel cornered with no escape in sight, I whisper to your heart, I am your safe harbor. My shelter is not a flimsy tarp easily torn by the winds of adversity. It is a fortress forged in the fire of my timeless love, its walls unreachable, its gates eternally open to you. No matter how turbulent the world becomes, my nature remains steadfast, a constant, unwavering haven where your soul can find repose. Perhaps you wonder, how can I be so certain of your protection? Allow me to unveil more of who I am so you may know the depth of my commitment to you. I am love, boundless, unchanging, and fiercely devoted. Every intention of my heart toward you flows from this infinite wellspring of affection. My love is not a fleeting emotion swayed by circumstance. It is the very essence of my being woven into the fabric of eternity. In the fullness of time, my love compelled me to bridge the chasm between us to make a way for you to experience my protection and presence intimately. You are not a stranger to me, lost in the masses. You are uniquely known, deeply cherished, every facet of your being precious in my sight. My dear child, let my love be a guiding light in the world around you. Share this truth with those who are lost, and together we will spread healing, hope, and my peace that lasts forever. I am omnipotent, my power stretching beyond the farthest stars and into the smallest details of your life. The mountains tremble at my voice, yet I wield that same might to cradle your heart. What seems insurmountable to you, a financial crisis, a fractured relationship, a dream that feels out of reach, is wholly within my grasp. When your strength wanes and your resources dwindle, know that my well of power never runs dry. Invite me into your struggles and watch as my strength floods your circumstances, bringing hope where despair once reigned. I do not stand aloof observing your trials from a distant throne. I step into your story wielding the authority of heaven to defend and uplift you. I am ever present, closer than your next breath. I am not a distracted deity preoccupied with grander matters, my beloved. I am with you in every moment, in the quiet of dawn, when doubts creep in the chaos of midday, when responsibilities overwhelm, in the stillness of night, when tears fall unseen. I hear every whispered prayer, feel every unspoken ache, and rejoice in every triumph. No matter how small, my nearness is not contingent on your flawless faith or perfect actions. I am near, because I'm a mantle God with you always. If doubts linger about my desire to shield you, turn to the ancient stories etched in sacred texts. Recall the accounts of my people facing impossible odds, armies that dwarf their own predators that prowled in the dark storms that threatened to swallow them all. In each moment I intervened with perfect timing, parting seas, calming winds, and delivering the vulnerable from harm. These are not dusty relics of a bygone age. They are living testaments to my unchanging faithfulness. Your challenges may not mirror theirs in form. Your lions may be anxiety. Your storms may be grief. But they are no less real, and I am no less ready to stand as your defender. My promise to protect is not bound by time. It is anchored in my eternal character. Yet my refuge offers more than protection. It offers transformation. Within my walls you are not merely preserved, you are renewed. I speak words of courage into your fears, wisdom into your confusion, and purpose into your pain. My presence is a wellspring of life, refreshing your spirit and equipping you to face the world with newfound strength. To dwell in my refuge is to abide in a love that never falters, a power that never weakens, and a presence that never departs. My child, the world around you may shift like sand, but I remain your bedrock. When you feel exposed, battered by life's relentless winds, run to me. My gates are open, my arms outstretched. Here in the fortress of my love, you will find not just safety, but a home where your soul can thrive. I am your refuge now and forever, unchanging, unshakable, and utterly devoted to you, my cherished one. When you ponder the nature of my shelter, envision an ancient citadel, its towering stone walls, etched with the stories of countless storms endured. These walls stand resolute, unyielding to the fiercest tempests, defiant against every adversary that dares to approach. Picture my love as the bedrock beneath this fortress, immovable, eternal, and unshaken by the ebb and flow of your heart's emotions. Contemplate my strength, a force so vast it remains undiminished by the weight of any trial you face, and rest in the embrace of my presence, a sacred canopy that unfolds you whether you stand triumphant on the loftiest peak or wander weary in the shadow depths of life's valleys. This is the essence of my role as your protector. You do not traverse the battlefields of existence alone. I go before you as a vanguard, my watchful gaze guarding every step you take. Let me guide you gently by the hand, revealing how to step fully into the refuge I offer. When your mind is besieged by a trend of anxious thoughts, pause and turn your heart toward me. Even the simplest whisper of my name becomes a bridge spanning the chasm between your fear and my peace. In that sacred moment, you choose to enter my stronghold, a sanctuary crafted for your soul's safety. I created you for this intimacy, where I am not a distant deity, but your ever-present source of hope. Instead of grappling alone with the burdens that weigh upon you, bring them to me. Surrender the worries you were never meant to bear, and let me carry them in my boundless strength to weave this practice of seeking my shelter into the fabric of your daily life. Consider these tangible steps. As dawn breaks and you open your eyes to a new day, invite me into its unfolding. Speak to me as you would a trusted confidant, sharing your dreams, your uncertainties, and the gratitude that stirs within you. In this morning communion, you anchor yourself in my presence before the clamor of the world intrudes. As you move through your day, keep me close in your thoughts. Offer a quiet word of thanks when a small grace catches your eye, a fleeting moment of beauty, a kind gesture, a breath of calm. Seek my guidance when decisions loom large, their outcomes uncertain. Each time you turn your heart toward me, you strengthen the bond with the fortress that stands ever ready to shield. You, dear child, I have appointed you to share my love. Send this to 3 who are broken and watch as my peace surrounds their hearts. I urge you to immerse yourself in the sacred words I have spoken through the ages. Preserve in texts that pulse with life. These scriptures are more than ink on a page. They are a living dialogue between my heart and yours. As you meditate on them, your understanding of my character deepens, and your faith grows like roots sinking into fertile soil. When doubts assail you, cling to the promises that proclaim my protection and my unchanging nature. These truths are the ramparts of my fortress, repelling the lies that seek to breach your peace. Surround yourself also with a community of souls who seek me, as you do. Their encouragement, woven with a work of my spirit within you, forms a bulwark against the isolation and despair that can creep into your heart. Together you stand stronger, reminded of my faithfulness. Even in the darkest hours, carve out moments throughout your day for stillness where you offer your heart to me anew. In these pauses, imagine yourself crossing the threshold of my fortress, its mighty gates closing behind you with a resonant thud. Within these walls you hear the echo of my promise: you are safe here. Let your soul drink deeply from this assurance. Do not suppress your fears or hide your failures in shame. Instead, place them trustingly in my hands. I am not only your unassailable refuge, but also your tender Father, longing to see you flourish in courage and serenity. As you cultivate this habit, seeking my shelter becomes as natural as breathing. Your instincts shift from peg to prayer, from striving in your own strength to resting in my sustaining power. Though challenges may still arise, their ability to unsettle you diminishes. Within the sanctuary of my love, you discover a peace that defies the chaos of the world, a calm that anchors your soul, even as storms rage outside. This is the gift of abiding in me, not an escape from life's trials, but a transformation of how you face them. This invitation is yours in every moment, an open door to a sacred realm of promise and reassurance. Step closer, my beloved, and let me weave my heart's truth into the tapestry of your life. Through words cherished by generations, I speak to you now, offering solace for your weary days and strength for your darkest nights. Listen not merely with your ears, but with the deepest part of your being, and let these words of life envelop you. When I declare that those who dwell in the secret place of the Most High abide under the shadow of the Almighty, it is no fleeting metaphor. It is a call to a profound, intentional intimacy, a choice to make my presence your home. To dwell in my secret place is to turn your heart toward me, continually seeking refuge in the reality of who I am. Imagine a weary traveler finding rest beneath the shade of a mighty oak, shielded from the scorching sun. So too do I offer a haven for your soul, a place of rest and renewal. The secret of this place speaks of a hidden depth, a private communion that the distracted world cannot fathom. Yet for you who seek me with a longing heart, This sanctuary is always within reach. This entrance is not barred by gates of iron, but opened by the simple act of trust. As your refuge and fortress, I am your unyielding protector. My strength symbolized by walls that no enemy can scale. These images evoke a watched or standing sentinel. Over a vulnerable land, its gaze sweeping the horizon for any threat. So too do I watch over you, discerning your needs before you voice them, guarding you from dangers both visible and unseen. In my presence, fear loses its grip and anxiety gives way to a confidence rooted in the certainty of my care. This fortress is not a cold, impersonal structure, but a living expression of my commitment to you, a space where you are known, cherished, and upheld. As you journey forward, carry this truth in your heart. My shelter is not a distant hope, but a present reality accessible in every moment. Let it reshape your perspective. Fortify your spirit and root your hope in the one who will never falter. You are mine, and within the walls of my love, you will always find a home. When the weight of your struggles threatens to crush your spirit, when the battles you face leave you weary and worn, pause and remember this. I am your unyielding fortress, a sanctuary of strength, where you are welcome. With open arms within the walls of my presence, my peace descends like a quiet snowfall, hushing the fiercest storms that rage around you. As you lean into these promises, let them anchor your heart with unshakable reassurance. No ultimate harm shall befall you. This is not a shallow vow that your life will be untouched by trials or pain. Rather, it is a profound, eternal pledge that your soul, your truest self, remains forever shielded from destruction. You may walk through fire, tread through shadowed valleys, or face tempests that howl with menace. But I guard your spirit with the fierce, tender devotion of a father who will never forsake his child. In moments of hardship, the enemy of your soul whispers lies, urging you to believe you are forsaken, abandoned in a wasteland of despair. But I stand against those dissections with a promise forged in my unchanging love. No harm shall ultimately overwhelm you, for my hand steadies you through every trial. Even when the horizon darkens and circumstances seem insurmountable, my light pierces the gloom, guiding you step by step. Do not mistake the presence of hardship for my absence. Instead, let adversity become the catalyst that drives you deeper into my embrace. The pestilence, terrors, and errors spoken of in ancient texts are not merely poetic flourishes. They are vivid symbols of the very real fears that have haunted humanity across time. In your world, these may manifest as financial ruin, chronic illness, fracture relationships, or the quiet anguish of a burdened mind. Each is a shadow that looms over your sense of safety, threatening to unravel your peace. Yet I speak directly to those fears, proclaiming my sovereign protection. I do not promise a life free from storms. I promise that no storm will have the final word when you are anchored in me. The mightiest challenge you face will find its match in the boundless power of my word. This sound is more than ancient poetry. It is my personal love letter to you, etched with divine ink, declaring that what the world deems impossible is made possible through my presence. Let these truths seep into the marrow of your being, until your confidence in my strength overshadows every fear that dares to rise against you. I declare that my angels are dispatched to guard you, a celestial host commissioned to watch over you in all your ways. This is no mere figure of speech, but a testament to my intimate involvement in every facet of your life, unseen by your eyes. My ministering spirits move on your behalf, deflecting dangers you may never perceive, redirecting troubles before they reach you, and easing burdens you thought you carried alone. The phrase "in all your ways" is a sweeping vow encompassing the mundane and the monumental, the daily grind of responsibilities, the complexities of relationships, the silent battles waged within your heart and mind. My care is not confined to rare, sacred moments. It permeates every step you take. When you falter, I lift you. When exhaustion overtakes you, I carry you in my arms. When you feel surrounded by forces too great to withstand, I envelop you with my heavenly guard. All I ask is that you turn your heart toward me, acknowledging my presence and walking in the certainty that I will never abandon you. Dearest child, you are chosen to carry my love. Send this word to 3 who are struggling and observe how my peace comforts them. Let us pause to consider how these promises weave into the fabric of your own story. My love for you is boundless, flowing from before the moment you first drew breath, unearned and unending. Yet the protective covering I offer invites your act of trust. I do not force my shelter upon you, I invite you to choose it. To abide in the shadow of my wings requires that you draw near, stepping intentionally into the place where my peace reigns. Picture a worried traveler caught in a downpour, standing just steps from a sturdy pavilion. The shelter is there, its refuge certain, but the traveler must choose to step beneath its cover to find relief. So it is with my presence. By saying yes to me, by choosing to trust you, position yourself where fear loses its grip and my peace becomes the air you breathe. This interplay between my unconditional love and your response reveals the beauty of our relationship. My love pours forth freely, a river that never runs dry, yet to fully experience its shelter, you must step into its current. There is no darkness too deep for my light to penetrate, no wound too hidden for my healing to reach. But I wait for your invitation, not because I am distant, but because love thrives in mutual trust. Do not let pride, shame, or doubt keep you standing in the rain when my shelter is so near. The moment you whisper your need for me, my arms encircle you, and so much of the harm that might have overwhelmed you is turned aside by your choice to rest in my care. This is not a burden to bear, but a freedom to embrace. You are not striving to earn my protection. You are resting in the assurance that I am the one fighting for you. Look back through the tapestry of my people's history, and you will see these promises. Echoed in countless stories of deliverance, recall the young shepherd who faced a giant with nothing but a sling and unshakable faith in me. My hand guided his stone. Remember the prophet thrown into a den of lions, yet preserved through the night. My angels sealed their jaws. Think of the seas parted wide. The storm stilled, the barren made fruitful. These are not mere legends, but living testimonies of my timeless faithfulness. They proclaim that I am not a distant deity, but a present, active protector who steps into the stories of those who trust me. The psalm you hold is no isolated song. It is a thread in a grand narrative of redemption, woven through centuries, declaring that I am for you, not against you. The miracles and rescues of old are not confined to ancient days. They are signposts pointing to the truth that I remain unchanged. Whether your battles are fought on a desert plain or in the quiet of a sleepless night, the principle endures. When you invite me into your story, I overshadow your fears with my peace, transforming your trials into testimonies that radiate my glory. As you carry this truth forward, let it reshape how you face each day. The world may roar with chaos, but my voice speaks peace. Circumstances may shift like sand, but my promises stand like bedrock. You are not alone, not forsaken, not defenseless. You are held, seen, and fiercely loved. Cling to me and no storm will overcome you. Rest in my shadow and no fear will define you. Walk in my light and no darkness will extinguish your hope. This is my covenant with you, sealed by my love, eternal and unbreakable. My beloved child, your life is a sacred chapter in the eternal chronicle of my faithfulness, a living testament to the promises I have, woven through the ages. Every word you read here is an invitation to experience the truth of my presence ignited in your own journey. I call you to dwell close under my watchful eye, where your testimony will resound with the countless stories of safety, victory, and redemption I have authored since time began. Let me draw you into the narratives of those who trusted me in the face of impossibility, their lives a mirror to the hope I offer you today. Consider the story of a man who walked boldly into what seemed like certain doom. In an era when loyalty to me demanded defiance of a powerful king's decree, he stood resolute. His devotion was not swayed by the threat of death, even when it meant facing the jaws of ferocious lions. He lived in a time when faith was tested by fire, yet he refused to abandon his trust in me. When the hour of reckoning came, he was cast into a den of ravenous beasts, their roars filling the darkness with terror. To any onlooker, his fate appeared sealed, a hopeless end in a pit of despair. Yet in the very moment I was there, my presence silenced every hungry mouth, turning a place of peril into a sanctuary of divine protection. It was not the absence of danger that saved him, but the depth of his trust in me. In the hush of the den where fear should have reigned, my power transformed a cage of death into a holy haven of safety. When dawn broke, those who had condemned him stood in awe, witnessing him emerge, untouched, his faith unshaken, his spirit at peace. His story became a beacon proclaiming that I honor those who remain steadfast, even when the cost seems unbearable. Reflect on this, my child. You may not face literal lions, but your trials are no less real. Perhaps you wrestle with a relentless illness that saps your strength, a relationship strained by unspoken wounds, or an uncertain future that looms like a shadow. The lions in your story may be the voices of fear, anxiety, or doubt that seek to devour your hope, yet I assure you, when you anchor yourself in my word, I move in ways that defy imagination. The darkness around you cannot extinguish the light I shine. With storms rage and every path seems blocked, trust that my hand is never too short to save. My power is unchanged, and I delight in revealing my faithfulness to those who cling to me. Like that man who knelt in prayer despite the threat of punishment, your devotion unlocks the door to my deliverance. Even when despair surrounds you, your faith can transform a fear-filled den into a chamber of miracles. Hold fast, for I am the one who neutralizes danger in impossible situations, and I stand ready to do the same for you. My sweet child, if my message has stirred your spirit, embrace it deeply. Press that like button and proclaim your trust in me. Now let your heart turn to the story of a shepherd boy whose trust in me was forged in the quiet fields, long before he stood in the spotlight of history. When a towering giant threatened his people, he rose to meet the challenge with a courage that confounded seasoned warriors. Armed with only a sling and an unshakable conviction in my power, he faced an adversary deemed invincible. Where others saw only defeat, he saw an opportunity for me to display my strength. With a single stone, propelled not by physical might but by faith, he failed the giant that had terrorized an entire army. The victory was mine, yet it was accomplished through the willing heart of one who believed against all odds. This triumph was but the beginning of a life marked by reliance on my guidance. As time unfolded, the same shepherd found himself hunted by a jealous king, forced to flee into the wilderness. He hid in caves, wandered deserts, and faced betrayal, yet he never released his grip on my promises. In those hidden places where despair might have taken root, he chose to sing songs of trust, melodies that echoed his confidence in my unchanging care. These songs, preserved through the ages, speak of green pastures and still waters, of valleys shadowed by death, and of cups that overflow with my goodness. Each lyric testifies to my presence, whether on the battlefield or in the lonely stretches of life. My child, when your own battles loom large, be they external conflicts or internal struggles, take heart in the same assurance that strengthened him. I am your shepherd, watching over you, leading you, restoring your soul. Your giant may be a mountain of debt, a heart wounded by loss, or a goal that seems unattainable. In that moment of confrontation, do not fix your eyes on the size of what threatens you. Focus instead on the magnitude of the one who fights for you. Let the ancient songs remind you that a humble spirit paired with unwavering faith triumphs over even the greatest obstacles. Your confidence in me aligns you with a lineage of victories I have orchestrated through history. Lastly, consider the story of a prophet who served me wholeheartedly in a land gripped by desolation. For years the rains had ceased and famine spread like a plague across the nation. Day after day the sun blazed mercilessly, crops withered, and hope evaporated like morning dew. In a time when desperation overshadowed every household, this man stood as a beacon of my faithfulness. I called him to a place of utter dependence where he would learn that my provision transcends the limits of nature. By a dry brook, I sustained him, sending ravens to deliver bread and meat each morning and evening. When the brook dried up, I led him to a widow in a foreign land, a woman who had nothing but a handful of flour and a drop of oil. Yet through her obedience and his faith, I multiplied her meager resources, ensuring that her jar never ran dry and her jug never failed. In the barren place where scarcity should have prevailed, my abundance overflowed. Later, when death itself seemed to claim her son, I worked through the prophet to restore life, proving that no situation is beyond my reach. This story speaks to you, my child, in your seasons of lack. Your famine may not be a literal drought, but perhaps a scarcity of resources, joy, or direction. When the landscape of your life feels barren, trust that I am the God who provides. I may not always deliver in the way you expect, but my provision is always sufficient. Like the widow who gave her last morsel, your small acts of faith open the door to my miracles. And like the prophet who stood firm in a dying land, your trust in me can bring life to what seems lost. My beloved, these stories are not distant relics but living promises for you today. The same God who silenced lions, toppled giants, and multiplied flowers stands with you now. Your trials, though unique, are not beyond my reach. Whether you face roaring fears, towering obstacles, or seasons of want, I am present, ready to transform your den into a sanctuary, your battlefield into a triumph, and your scarcity into abundance. Dwell in my presence and let your life echo the testimonies of those who trusted me. Your faith, however small it may feel, is enough to move my hand. When you cannot see the way forward, sing the psalms of my faithfulness. When the world tells you to despair, stand firm in my promises. Your story is still being written, and I am the author who never fails. Trust me and watch as I turn your trials into testimonies of my unending love and power. In the sacred stillness of a desolate wilderness, I guided my servant to seek refuge beside a humble stream known as the brook Cherith. There, in a setting where survival seemed improbable, he witnessed my boundless provision in ways that defied human understanding. Ravens, creatures not known for generosity, became my messengers, delivering bread and meat to him each morning and evening. The clear waters of the stream sustained him, while the surrounding lands withered under a relentless drought. To the eyes of the world, his isolation spelled doom. Yet I revealed my sovereignty through these extraordinary acts of care, proving that no place is too remote for my reach. When the stream eventually succumbed to the drought, I directed him to a new destination, the home of a widow in Zarephath, a woman teetering on the brink of despair. Her pantry held only a handful of flour and a scant measure of oil, barely enough for a final meal for herself and her son. Yet when she heeded the words, my servant spoke in my name, a miracle unfolded each day. As she reached into her jar, she found just enough flour and oil to prepare another meal. This daily replenishment was no mere coincidence, but a tangible sign of my faithfulness, a reminder that even the smallest resources, when placed in my hands, become abundant. In another pivotal moment, my servant stood as a solitary figure against a multitude of false prophets on Mount Carmel. These deceivers had led my people astray, enticing them with hollow promises and idols of wood and stone. With unwavering courage, he challenged their falsehoods, calling upon me to demonstrate my supremacy. As he prayed, fire descended from the heavens, consuming the soaked offering, the wood, the stones, and even the dust. This all-inspiring display silenced the doubters and reaffirmed that I alone am the source of true power, capable of turning the tide in the face of overwhelming odds. You too may find yourself in seasons of scarcity, whether spiritual, emotional, or material, where hope seems as dry as a parched riverbed. Perhaps you cling to the last threads of faith, wondering if tomorrow will bring relief or deeper want. Draw strength from these accounts, for I am the same God who commands nature to serve my purposes and transforms scarcity into sufficiency. Just as I sustained my servant in the wilderness and multiplied the widow's meager supplies, I can provide for you in the most barren of places. When your resources feel inadequate, trust that I am the one who turns the little you have into more than enough. If you feel isolated like a lone voice in a skeptical world, know that your steadfast faith can ignite a spark that reveals my glory to those around you. My beloved, never doubt my desire to care for you, or the boundless creativity with which I can manifest my aid. Whether you need provision for your body, strength for your spirit, or courage for your soul, I am ready to pour out my mercy. Place your trust in me, and watch as I transform your desert into a garden where hope flourishes, my dear one. If my message has stirred your spirit, embrace it fully with love. Tap that like button and declare your trust in me. My power is not confined to ancient tales or dusty scrolls. It is alive and active, weaving new stories of grace in the lives of those who seek me today. Across the globe, men and women have tasted my intervention in ways that leave no room for doubt. Consider the story of a young woman driving alone on a desolate highway in the dead of night. Exhausted. From a grueling day, her eyelids grew heavy, and her car began to drift toward a treacherous embankment. In that perilous moment, she felt an inexplicable surge of clarity, as if an unseen presence steadied her hands on the wheel. Safely pulling over, she trembled with the realization that she had been spared from disaster, her heart affirming my protective hand. Another family shares a testimony from a hospital room where hope seemed lost. Their loved one lay in critical condition with doctors, offering grim prognosis. United in prayer, they called upon my name, and to the astonishment of the medical staff, the patient's condition began to improve inexplicably. Days later, they walked out of the hospital, their hearts overflowing with gratitude for a miracle that defied all odds. In yet another account, a man bound by the chains of addiction, his life unraveling in every way, found freedom through the support of a faith-filled community and a desperate plea for my help. His liberation astounded those who had witnessed his descent, becoming a beacon of my redemptive power. These modern miracles echo the truth that my hand is never too short to save. I work in the hidden corners of despair, turning impossible situations into testimonies of my mercy. No matter how chaotic or hopeless your circumstances may appear, I delight in revealing my faithfulness. Each story you hear of deliverance, healing, or provision should stir your faith, reminding you that my intervention is not reserved for a chosen few, but is available to every heart that dares to trust in me. While grand miracles capture the imagination, my care often manifests in quieter, subtler ways, woven into the fabric of your daily life. These moments, easily overlooked in the rush of routine, are no less significant. Reflect on the times when an unexpected delay, perhaps a missed train or a traffic jam, kept you from harm's way. You may have grumbled at the inconvenience, only to learn later of a calamity you narrowly escaped. Or consider the sudden urge to reach out to a friend, only to discover they were in desperate need of encouragement at that very moment. Perhaps a small financial blessing, a refund, a gift, or an unexpected opportunity arrived just in time to meet a pressing need. These are not mere coincidences, my child, but the gentle fingerprints of my providence. I am at work in the details, shielding you from dangers you may never see, and providing for needs you have yet to recognize. My care extends beyond the dramatic rescues to the quiet moments that shape your path. When you pause to reflect, you will see that my grace has been your constant companion, sparing you from countless perils, physical, emotional, and spiritual. My beloved, whether you stand in a wilderness of want or on a mountaintop of challenge, I am with you. My provision is not bound by time, circumstance, or human limitation. Just as I commanded ravens to feed my servant, sustained a widow through famine, and sent fire from heaven to declare my name, I am ready to move in your life. Trust in my willingness to provide, my power to protect, and my creativity to transform. Open your heart to the possibility that I am already at work, even in ways you cannot yet see. Lift your eyes from the scarcity around you and fix them on me. The God who multiplies, restores, and redeems your faith, no matter how small it feels, is the spark that invites my power into your story. Step forward in trust and watch as I turn your barren places into springs of hope, your doubts into declarations of my glory, and your life into a living testament of my unending love. I cherish, child. I invite you to awaken your soul to a way of seeing that pierces through the veil of the ordinary. Train your heart to discern my presence woven into the fabric of your days, not only in grand moments of triumph, but in the quiet threads of everyday life. Look for my hand in the laughter shared with a friend, the stranger's unexpected kindness, with a sudden clarity that resolves a burden weighing on your spirit. These are my fingerprints, subtle yet deliberate, marking the moments where I am near, guiding, protecting, and pouring out favor. When you begin to notice these signs, gratitude will bloom within you, like a garden in spring, transforming your perspective and revealing that I am intricately involved in every detail of your journey. No matter how small it seems, you may wonder why my presence often feels veiled, why my workings are not always as bold as a sunrise or as undeniable as a mountain. Know this: I delight in moving behind the scenes of your life, orchestrating events with a precision that serves your eternal good. My hidden ways are not a sign of absence but an invitation to trust. Like an artist painting with delicate strokes, I craft moments that may seem unremarkable at first glance, but when viewed with faith, reveal a masterpiece of grace. The loud miracles, the parted seas and healed bodies are wondrous, but they are not my only language. Often I speak in whispers, a timely word of encouragement, a door that opens just when you need it, or a quiet nudge that steers you from harm. These are my movements as real as any thunderclap, yet they require a heart attuned to perceive them. I long for you to live with eyes wide open, to wonder, to walk through your days with a quiet confidence that my vigilance never falters. Even in the mundane, the morning commute, the routine tasks, the fleeting interactions, my love is at work, weaving pathways of protection and opportunity. Do not be swayed by the temptation to seek only the spectacular, a single conversation that lift your spirit, a fleeting thought that prompts caution, or an unexpected provision in a moment of need. These are my interventions, no less divine than the miracles of old. I cultivating a sensitivity to my subtle voice. You grow closer to me, learning to recognize the gentle stirrings of my spirit, like the soft rustle of leaves on a still afternoon, faint but undeniably present. This awareness is a sacred discipline, one that transforms how you navigate life's complexities. As you practice it, you'll find yourself living with a deep assurance, knowing you are never alone, never vulnerable, but always enveloped in my care. The more you give thanks for these small signs, the more you will see them, like stars emerging in a twilight sky. I do not conceal myself to frustrate you, but to draw you deeper into relationship with me. Search for me with intention. Offer gratitude for the unseen, and you will discover that my loving oversight is a constant, unchanging reality. Even when the path twists unexpectedly, even when answers seem delayed, I am there, carving out roads through the wilderness, threading grace into every step you take. Yet I see the silent storms that sometimes rage within you. In the stillness of night, worries creep in like shadows, whispering fears about tomorrow, about provision, relationships, where the uncertainties that loom on the horizon. These anxieties, though they feel overwhelming, are not the truth of who you or what lies ahead. Fear is a cunning adversary, often beginning as a faint murmur in your thoughts, a subtle suggestion that something could go wrong. Left unchecked, it grows, wrapping itself around your decisions, dimming your courage and causing you to doubt the gifts I have placed within you. It tempts you to retreat from the opportunities I set before you, to question whether I am truly with you. But hear this, my beloved, fear does not have the final word, my love does. In the sacred scriptures, it is written that perfect love casts out fear. And I am that perfect love, ever present, ever powerful. Fear distorts your vision, whispering lies that I am distant or indifferent. But I am nearer than your very breath, holding you in the palm of my hand. Consider the heroes of faith who walk before you. Moses trembled before the Red Sea. David faced giants with a shepherd's sling. Esther stood before a king with her heart pounding. Each encountered fear, yet they chose to trust my faithfulness. Fear seeks to unravel my promises, but I assure you I will never fail you. The first step to overcoming fear is to name it, to bring it into the light where it cannot hide. Acknowledge its presence, but do not let it define you. Instead, counter it with the truth of my word. I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. When you anchor yourself in this truth, fear begins to lose its grip, and my peace takes root. Let me guide you in this journey of trust. When anxious thoughts arise, pause and turn to me in prayer. A simple cry, I trust you. Be near me or show me your way, shifts your focus from the storm to my presence. In that moment, my spirit comforts you, reminding you that I am your refuge, your strength, and your guide. Immerse yourself in the stories and promises of Scripture, for they are a lifeline to your soul. Read of how I delivered those who called on me, how I led Israel through the desert, strengthened Daniel in the lion's den, and walked with the disciples through tempests. These accounts are not mere history. They are declarations of my unchanging nature. Each promise you find in my word is a cornerstone, building a foundation of faith that steadies you when fear threatens to overwhelm. Beyond personal devotion, seek out a community of believers who will walk alongside you. In their fellowship, you'll find voices to remind you of my goodness when doubt clouds your heart. Together, you will share stories of my faithfulness, pray for one another, and stand firm against the tides of fear. Trust is not a one-time decision, but a daily practice, a choice to lean into my strength with every new challenge. Each moment of fear is an opportunity to experience my sustaining power, to see me move in ways that deepen your faith. As you grow in this trust, you will find that even the darkest valleys become places of encounter with my love. You will walk with a boldness that comes from knowing you are my cherished child, shielded by my care, guided by my hand. Now let us pause for a moment of reflection. Consider the fears that have stirred in your heart recently, perhaps a concern about the future, a relationship, or a decision weighing heavily on you. Bring that fear before me now in the quiet of this moment. Speak it, name it, and lay it at my feet. Then listen for my voice, the whisper of my peace that says, I am with you, I am enough. Let gratitude rise within you for the ways I am already at work, even in the unseen. As you move forward, carry this truth. I am weaving a story of redemption in your life. And no fear, no storm, no uncertainty can unravel the love I have for you. Walk in this assurance, my child, and let your heart be ever open to the wonder of my presence, beloved child. You are my chosen messenger of love. Share this with 3 hurting hearts and witness the peace that flows over them. My beloved, I call you gently into the light of my presence, where every shadow of fear can be dispelled and every burden can find rest. I invite you to pause, to breathe deeply, and to open your heart to a journey of honest reflection and surrender. What anxieties stir within you? What uncertainties cast long shadows across your soul? I am not distant or detached. I am near, longing to receive what weighs you down and to replace it with the peace that only I can give. Take a moment to consider the fears that linger in your heart. Are you afraid of failure, rejection, or the unknown? Do you carry the weight of past disappointments, fearing they will define your future? I invite you to name these fears, whether by writing them down, speaking them aloud, or laying them silently before me in prayer. This act of vulnerability is not a sign of weakness, but a courageous step toward healing. As you expose what is hidden, you allow my light to touch those places, transforming trembling into trust. Reflect also on the rhythms of your life. How often do you rely on your own strength to navigate challenges? Do you turn to me only when your resources are depleted? Or do you invite my wisdom into every decision from the start? Consider the moments when you felt overwhelmed. Were they driven by circumstances beyond your control, or by the burden of trying to carry everything alone? I do not judge you for these struggles. Instead, I offer you a better way, a path of surrender that leads to divine strength. Thou word in Psalm 91 is a living promise, an invitation to dwell in my shelter and abide in my shadow. As you read these verses, let them sink deeply into your spirit. Picture yourself stepping into my refuge, not as a fleeting visitor, but as one who belongs. Journal your thoughts as you meditate on this passage. Which phrases stir your heart? Which promises feel difficult to embrace? Be honest. Even if doubts arise, your candor opens the door to transformation. When I declare that I will command my angels concerning you, imagine the heavenly host encircling your life. Recall moments when you've experienced, I explained, provision or protection. Those were not coincidences, but glimpses of my faithfulness. As you ponder these truths, let them shift your perspective. Your past does not dictate your future, for I am the God who redeems and restores. My perfect love drives out fear, replacing anxiety with assurance and reluctance with boldness. Practices to anchor your faith, to deepen your trust in me. I encourage you to weave simple practices into your daily life. Morning gratitude. Before the demands of the day begin, pause to acknowledge my presence. Whisper a prayer of thanks, whether brief or expansive, to align your heart with mine. For example, Lord, thank you for this new day. I trust you with all it holds. Breath prayers throughout the day. Use short breath prayers to re-enter your soul. Inhale and say in your spirit, you are my refuge. Exhale with I trust in you. This rhythm can ground you when stress or fear threatens to. You restore your spirit and guide you toward the destiny I have prepared. Today I invite you to step into this new phase with confidence. Release the burdens of the past and embrace the promises I have made. I am leading you toward transformation, and I will walk with you every step of the way. You are cherished beyond measure, safeguarded in my love and supported at every turn. Continue your journey, for I am renewing every part of your life. Each morning, take a moment to reflect, to align your heart with my blessings so that your day begins with peace. In times of weakness or fear, know that I will restore your courage. When challenges arise, do not hesitate to bring them to me. I will help you find solutions, offering the wisdom and guidance you need to move forward. Still your mind and let this truth sink deep. My care for you is infinite. This love is eternal, unconditional, and steadfast. It does not waver with your circumstances, nor does it fade when you feel unworthy. Before your first breath, I knew you, valued you, and held you in my heart. My love surrounds you, fills you, and sustains you in every moment. Rest in this truth and release the burdens you carry, the doubts that whisper you are not enough. You are precious to me, and nothing can sever the bond we share. Walk forward, my child, with the assurance that you are never alone. I am with you, renewing your spirit, guiding your steps, and leading you into a future filled with light. Trust in my promises. Lean into my love. And let me carry you to the places of peace and purpose I have prepared for you. In the quiet corners of your heart where loneliness sometimes creeps, know that I am eternally by your side. When weariness weighs heavy on your spirit, let my boundless care restore your vitality. Seek me daily. Carve out moments to connect and allow my nurturing presence to permeate every facet of your being. This support is not something you must earn. It is given freely, without reservation, and with unending abundance. My devotion to you is unshakable, unwavering through your triumphs and trials, your strengths and frailties. I see you fully, your fears, your struggles, your aspirations, and my love for you remains infinite. Exercise patience, for I am weaving a tapestry of purpose in your life, often in ways unseen in the present moment. The path I am crafting for you brims with hope, meaning, and fulfillment. Trust in the divine timing of all things, and do not let worry cloud your faith. Let not the judgments of others define your worth, for your value lies in the essence of your character, not in fleeting achievements. I am your sanctuary, your steadfast ally. My promises are true, my presence constant. Hold this truth close and let it guide your innermost thoughts. Beloved child, you are a bearer of my love. Share this message with three in pain and let my peace wash over them. My care for statute is boundless, enduring, and everlasting. I invite you to embrace it fully today. Let it wash over you like a gentle stream, bringing peace, renewal, and vibrant energy. Move forward with confidence, knowing you are deeply cherished. This support is inexhaustible, forever yours. You are seen, valued, and loved beyond measure. Lean into this truth as you navigate life, assured that my care is unfaltering and eternal. In this very moment you feel my presence. I stand against every force of harm, every affliction, every wound, and every obstacle to your well-being. I am here to meet your every need. You will thrive, I declare it. It is my will to multiply blessings and bring prosperity to all you undertake. Trust this promise without hesitation. Do not let past missteps or imperfections hold you back. When you choose to trust completely, embrace the forgiveness I extend to fully receive my support. Turn away from those who condemn or belittle you. Give no credence to cruel words or unjust criticism. Do not let the voices of envy or doubt consume your thoughts or diminish your potential. Instead of surrendering to fear or anxiety, feel my gentle touch upon your heart. I long for you to live abundantly, overflowing with joy, serenity, hope, confidence, and trust. Do not let worldly troubles rob you of the blessings I have prepared. I am ever present, ready to infuse your life with goodness. When you seek me, you will find a wellspring of unshakable joy and a peace that defies understanding. Come rest in my care and release the burdens that weigh you down. I know the doubts that stir within you, yet I am your refuge, your provider, and your endless source of hope. Trusting in me, you will find the courage to step boldly forward. Even in times of delay or difficulty, I am orchestrating every detail for your good. Hold fast to hope as I lead you toward a future rich with promise. My support is limitless and resolute, unwavering through any circumstance or shifting season. I see you as you are precious, honored, and deeply loved. Let this truth settle within you, granting you calm and assurance. Do not let fear or uncertainty take root in your soul. Instead, cultivate trust, knowing I am beside you, guiding, protecting, and sustaining you. Tune out the noise of the world and listen for my quiet counsel in moments of stillness. Let joy be your countenance, optimism your foundation, and faith your strength. I have designed a purposeful journey for you, filled with meaning and abundant blessings. Be patient. The future I have prepared surpasses your wildest dreams. I call you to open your heart wide to this support. Embrace joy, peace, hope, trust, and confidence, secure in the knowledge that I am always near. Step forward with certainty, knowing you are profoundly treasured. Let my care be the source of your strength, my promises, the bedrock of your stability. You are never alone. I am with you always. I will bring joy to your days and inspire songs of gratitude from your lips. Your life will be transformed. The abundance destined for you is certain and true. Your home will overflow with provision, and you will break free from the chains of financial missteps and debts. There may be times when resources seem scarce, but listen closely to my voice. See the world through eyes of hope, and notice the opportunities and connections that emerge. Every person you encounter plays a role in your story. Some will uplift you, others will challenge you, and some will seek the warmth and compassion only you can share. Cherish every soul, for each is a precious thread in my design. When you engage with kindness, empathy, and wisdom, you reflect the love I embody. Rest in my care and let it fill your heart so you may pour it out generously to others. How you treat those around you reveals the depth of your trust in my guidance. Practice patience, grace, and forgiveness even when it feels undeserved. As you seek my wisdom daily, I will equip you with the insight and strength to love without limits, to walk humbly, and to uplift all you meet.